Alright, hello stream. We are going to be playing some poker again today. Same old, but we are working up towards 150 bucks, which will be our next kind of step in the bankroll challenge. We will try two tabling. Not sure how well that'll go, but we'll give it a shot. I think the hardest thing is going to be figuring out how to get the stream working nice on it. I'd like having one table up at once, so I'll probably need to do some hotkey magic to show the active table. Either that or kind of use the multi-tabling software to like move the tables, but that also sounds very annoying and confusing, so I'll have to figure out what's going to go on there. But yeah, we are just looking for some good hands here to play. Play our standard ranges. Who knows, maybe we can open up if we find out that some of our opponents are being a little crazy. We do get a light 3-bet from player 4. I suspect he hits his ace with a 4-bet, so I expect him to bet here, even though it's out of turn. Yeah. I feel like you just have to assume he has an ace here, and then now the question is, does somebody else have 2 hearts? Dealer could have 2 hearts. Certainly the dealer has more suited hands than the 3-bet. And an instant call, so this will be interesting. I think player 4 is going to try to get player 2 off the hand by betting heavy. Yeah, half pot bet. Or sorry, full pot bet. And he takes it. Wonder if player 2 was waiting. Oh, we had ace king. Nice. He shows. The fact that he had the king blocker is probably a pretty good sign that player 2 didn't have it. Probably good to remember though that player 2 is going to be calling a lot. Oh, we would have had the flop straight. But yeah, 7-8 offsuit is not really 8-7 offsuits in the button opening range. That's alright. Okay, there we go. Alright. I mean, low jack? We open this. I have to keep remembering between suited and unsuited, so we would not open that offsuit, but we definitely open that suited. And see how it goes from there. We do get 1 call, 2 calls. And we get a mediocre hand here. We are the pre-flop aggressors, so I think I will bet it. Doesn't feel great, but we do have... Well, yeah, probably that wasn't a great call, or wasn't a great bet. We don't get... No straights get us there, no spades get us there, so now we are just hoping for an ace. And we don't get it. We have a pair of 6 ace high. We'll check through and see what he has. He has a pair of 10s, yeah. I wonder if bluffing if that would have been a good bluff candidate. Let's see. I mean, yeah, that's tough. So we have the gut shot straight draw here. I'm gonna check since there's 4 people in the pot. Hello, J-Heart. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. How's it going? Ooh. Yeah, 19%. We're gonna check again. 18 days of school left, not counting weekends. That's pretty close. That is very close. That's what, 3.5 weeks? Yeah. That's exciting. What are you gonna do with your whole summer? Nine, 7, King 2. I'm slightly confused. What did... You had a high card ace. Wow. Okay. I mean, we still would have lost to the king high, but that's still brutal. Just goes to show what their limping range is, I guess. And this guy's like mad now about their limping range. I think we fold. I'm good. How are you? I'm not too bad. A little tired. Charlie got me up at 5:30 this morning. So watched some YouTube at breakfast and then got to work around 6:30. And work was good. I made some progress. I didn't get it working. Didn't get my stuff working though. Yeah, because we're close to the end. Teachers are assigning their last minute tests and essays. Oh, so that's gonna be so that means now's the crunch time where you got lots of studying and writing to do. But then hopefully it'll calm down in a little bit. Yeah, I remember that. So we're getting a lot of limping here, so we should start paying attention to limping range. Q8 wouldn't have been enough to limp there, but certainly a possibility. Wouldn't have got us much though. And these guys are betting pretty big here. We have 2/3 pot and then 2 calls. I wonder if someone has the 10, but nobody bets the turn. So everybody's a little scared, and now player 2 goes all in. And there's a second all in call. Are we gonna get a third all in call? This would be exciting. Knock a few people out. No? Ooh, trip kings. It's gonna take it. Nice. And our opponent left in anger, which is understandable. Not sure why he called all in with short of trip bet. We're gonna let this go. 7-5 suited. Yeah. Oh, we would have had the trips, but still 7-5 suited doesn't feel great to call. Wonder if somebody has the other 7. Wow. Okay. Here's some fireworks. Let's see what's gonna happen here. No. Weird. That was weird. I suspect we haven't beat if we had the third 7, but... So this guy seemed a little aggro? Yeah, oh, I don't know. I'll have to turn him right ways. Actually, I think that was a bad 3-bet here. And we get called. We have a backdoor flush draw. We have we would need to, I'm gonna check here. And yeah, we don't get anything we need, so I think we shut down here unless we get a king. And this is just rough. I'm gonna bet into him and see what he does. And we take it. Okay. Nice. Ninja has cats. You have dinos. Indeed. I'll go turn him. Okay, there you go. Now he's watching the stream. Yeah, so this table feels a little weird. We got our player to our right is betting pretty heavy. And we are getting a lot of calls and limps. So this is a 4-way multi-pot with a 10 high paired board. See what happens, I guess. I keep saying somebody's got to have it, but then they go to showdown with like king high. So let's see what happens, I guess. And this guy bets. He bets pretty big, 30 big blinds into a pot of 60, so right about half pot. And see if he takes it down or if somebody's going to call him. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have everybody beat with a 10 here, so I imagine that's what at least that's what he's representing. All right, and we do not get much here, so we're gonna let that go. And we limp, so we are in the pot with a straight draw, so a 5 gets us there. We're gonna check. This is not a board we want to donk bet on, and we're just gonna keep checking through unless we hit the straight, I guess. So we would need, so it's 9% to hit the straight, and we have no showdown, no equity in the pot other than that, so I don't think we try to bluff it here or anything. And any 10 gets the higher straights. Any 2 hearts gets the flush. So this is a very bad board for us. We just are gonna fold to any bet. Don't feel too bad about that one. If you had to fight someone using a type of dessert, which dessert would you choose? Oh. Or no. Something hard. You can tell I'm pretty tired. Rock candy. Is that a dessert? I think it is. Ooh. Or a popsicle. Giant. Popsicles are still kind of soft, but at least they're frozen. Wow. Okay. Ace King versus 5 Jacks. Obviously 5 Jack just wanted to gamble, or he was tilted or something. He got bored. That was kind of weird. So he's going to top up again and keep playing. Weird. So we got to keep an eye on him. I think with Ace 6, we can't really stay in here. I think Rock Candy would be my first bet because you can hit somebody on the side of the head, or it's got a nice big stick through the middle that you can use to poke or jab. How about you? What would you choose? Alright, so these players do not seem to be... I would just chuck a bunch of frozen cupcakes. That's it? Okay, okay. I mean, frozen... Like, it's not how a cupcake is normally served, but I'll accept the answer. We didn't stipulate if the dessert was prepped or not, I suppose. I mean, if we're just freezing things and throwing them, there's a lot of ideas I could... Alright. What's a good dessert to freeze and throw at somebody? I don't know. I mean, you can shape chocolate in any shape you want. You can make like a chocolate sword or a chocolate knife and then just freeze it. I don't know. Would chocolate stay that hard? Probably not. You could make your own weapons out of like hardened sugar. Man. I think we have to let that go too. A bit out of our range for hijack. Wouldn't have got us much. This is a king high board, so probably favors the dealer. Dealer's probably gonna have more jacks, but this player 5 seems to be betting pretty high. Oh, okay, 9 versus the king. Some weird players today. People who just want to flip a coin and throw all their money away, I guess. I mean, I guess we should be trying to join into some of those pots. Try and play the game of poker. 5, 6, 6, 8, 9. So 7 would have gotten us the straight. The 9 high board is gonna probably... This board may... I don't know. Board probably favors the big blind. I actually missed who called. Probably favors the caller, but then the king changes it quite a bit. Oh, okay, so 10 ace. Ace high takes it. And now in big blind we have 7 high. Facing under the gun open. No, we probably shouldn't. Well. Alright, pot odds. If we roll a 50 or above, we call. Nope. Probably a good thing we didn't call here, but this is going to be an entertaining pot. It looks like everybody wants to gamble here. I expect the dealer position 5 to go all in here, if he's just in gambling mode. Which seems to be like what I was realizing that I kind of was getting stuck in at the very beginning when I started playing these stakes, is that like I would just get bored and then just like click the all in because I was like too anxious or like too impatient. So I kind of was expecting player 5 to fall into that, but it looks like maybe player 6 did instead. So let's see what happens here. Oh, okay, so player 5 folds, but we do get a call, and player 4 must have expected him to go all in. He has to call right here, right? When are you not folding? Ooh, jacks. Sorry, guy. Wow. So dealer just made a lot of money on jacks. That was pretty impressive. And 5-3 offsuit is not quite the hand we want to play here. So we just gotta wait until we get something that that'll be at least moderately strong. I mean, 5-3 suited is just not quite good enough here. And it is a monotone board. We would have had the flush, but I expect somebody's gonna have a higher diamond, right? Literally nobody have a diamond? Wow. Nobody had the diamond. We would have won that. Interesting. Alright, well, Jack 5 offsuit, still not quite good enough. Even starting to expand our range, it's Jack 5's not great. So J-Hard, do you have a lot of homework today, or are you taking it easy today and just watching Twitch? Alright, player 4 is determined to make some money back here, so we got to be a little worried about him. He is pretty aggressive. We will 3-bet this. Okay, let's go 6 big blinds. Just 3 times the previous bet. And it looks like everybody's scared of us, which is interesting. Not a great flop for us either. We will call a 1 big blind. 4, 5, 6. So now there's possible straights, possible flushes. We'll call the 1 big blind. Definitely not good for us. Expect if he has any diamonds, he's winning here. I think we just check showdown. Yeah, he had the pair of 10s. Okay. I don't feel great about that hand, but I also don't know if he's folding there in that spot. If I had bet. If I had tried to bluff it. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so he had top pair. I don't think he's folding top pair when I'm just calling 1 big blind each time. It was essentially a check through all the way to the river. And so if I had bluffed it, I don't think he's going anywhere on that. I think I would have needed to bet more on the earlier in those streets if I was to try and bluff, say, like a flush. Well, I feel bad. The play is not great today, but we'll try to keep pushing along and see if we can wake up and make some good plays here pretty soon. I mean, what are you going to do with 8-3 though? I don't think we're going to play 8-3. That's not really even a limping hand, right? No. It is not. In case anybody was wondering. Or 6 takes it. I card queen. Oh, 2 pairs. 6s and 4s. Okay. Alright, so we're out of position in the big blind. I think we just call a min raise in the big blind. But we don't get anything 7 high. I suppose this is one where I could probably bet here. I could donk bet this flop and not be out of line. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So now I would have had the gut shot straight draw. I guess I kind of missed that there. I mean, that would have been a 2-card straight draw. So yeah, ace 2, 3, 4. Any 5 is winning it. Yep, he had the 5. Nicely done, sir. I mean, that was one where it was a multi-way pot. The flop favored my range, but I just kind of missed it. Alright, let's do this since we are out of position. And we get 1 call. We're going to get 2 calls? Wow. We get 2 over pairs, but I'm going to donk bet it anyways because I am the 3-better here. And we'll see what they do. We get 1 fold. Hopefully we get 2 folds. Are we going to get our bluff through on the flop? Maybe? Please? He re-raises me. He probably has a king or a queen. Is this a call? He is betting. There's also the flush on the board here. So he does have like 100% C bet for every street. So he's probably going to bet here, and we need to figure out what we're going to do here. I feel bad that we just called and then we're going to fold. He's giving us 20% pot odds. We essentially just have 2 outs. So the pot odds there are not great. SPR is not great. I just don't feel great about this, so I think we let it go. Yeah. I mean, he either really played that very well aggressively, and just bluffed us out. Oh, and he left. Okay. Or we gave up too easily. So I think I'm gonna review that. I'm gonna take a look while we're waiting here. So I 3-bet and he calls. So we have jacks. Flop comes king, queen, 8. His range is going to be like a call a 2-bet from hijack. Kind of a weird. I think my data is a bit incomplete here, so we're gonna do like 50%. So against that there, I have 50% equity, but I think with the re-raise, he, I suspect like either the flush draw or top pair or above. In which case our equity goes down to 22%. So we bet, he re-raises, we call, and then the 5 of spades comes up. Pretty much all the suited hands that he possibly has there make it. So I think it was a good fold. He bets, we fold. Because we have basically 6% equity going into that turn. All right. Yeah, so sorry this isn't quite an entertaining stream here. We'll try to pick it up. Maybe we just go aggro at one of these hands once we get something we can play, I suppose. Now 7-ace suited, certainly not bad. We can we could limp it. Now we do get a weird 3-bet slash. So in the small blind we can call according to our charts here. We're gonna call. And we get another re-raise? So basically we're only winning here if we get a bunch of spades. And I mean, if we called the 9 big blinds cold, I think we're getting decent pot odds here. We'll see what happens. Unless this guy goes all in. And he re-raises, probably intentionally. I mean, certainly these guys just want to gamble. And we miss our flush. We don't have any, we missed the pair on the board. So we're not looking great. We don't have any straights. No straights, no flushes, no sets. We just have ace high on a paired board. So I think we get out. Which is a bummer because this... Hey, 64 Ninja, hello! Thanks for hanging out on the stream. We got into probably an ill-advised pot here. We probably could have just left. We were trying for our weird limping strategy because we had a weird hand of 7-ace suited, but it didn't pay off. Yeah, even with the two, even those 2 cards wouldn't have given us anything, so I think it's good that we got out. I expect one of these guys has a pocket pair, and this guy goes all in, call, and it's ace queen versus 9-8. The pair of eights wins that hand. I mean, it's ridiculous, like, that somebody won an all-in hand off a pair of eights, but at the same time, I feel like at least the pre-flop, well, I don't know. That was interesting. That was certainly interesting. I feel like our play there was maybe only half bad. I think I probably should have just rolled the RNG to see if I should have called the first time and then possibly folded. We do have some equity here. And I think we have more queens than he does, so I'm gonna bet it and see what he does here. I guess I should have looked at his stack size. I should have just bet however many chips he has. Because he's just gonna go all in, so. The question is he like baiting me here? I don't know. So we're just gonna try to push him all in and see what he does. Okay. I think I might just be tired today. I feel like I'm not making a lot of great decisions. May just be. We'll try playing until our hour's up. I think the other thing is, like, these guys are just gambling, and so some of it just comes down to coin flips. And, I mean, that last hand wasn't. I like to think it. Yeah, it wasn't a coin flip. I should have gotten out. That's all right. He was betting, and I had low pair, and there was no reason to call or try to bluff him out. I mean, this guy has he's played 83% of hands that he's been in so far. So there's a chance he doesn't have a queen there, and that my low pair wins it. But maybe no reason to go all in. So we will try sticking with our tight ranges here, see if we can claw our way back to profitability. Definitely more poker human than poker robot, also less good hands today. Yeah, I think so. I think we're not playing good poker robot mentality today. Now big blind. Okay, so if the dealer chip raises, in the big blind we definitely call with fours. If the small blind opens, we would also call with fours. So let's see. We're probably gonna stay in this pot here. See what happens. Looks like he's just gonna time out. Maybe he's got internet issues or something. But yeah, it's a little brutal against two people with that big of stacks, and I've got essentially nothing. And we miss our set mine here, so we just check to him. We have two pair. I think we can bet two pair. See what he does. Okay, we take it. Small pot, small victories. Maybe that's the hand we need to turn things around. Doable. It's doable. But 7-4 we're not going to play. We'll let the big stack take it. And try to get another better hand here soon. Nope. No luck. Eat 3 offsuit. We're just going to let go. Yeah, you know, I think part of the human aspect that I struggle with a little bit is like just attention, and like if I'm not getting hands for a half an hour, like I'll start playing hands that I shouldn't. So that's just definitely something to be aware of and work on. Yeah, I don't know. Just seems like sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Question is like, you know, if you're really doing bad, you know, do you try bluffing or do you just and so I think that's where like the real kind of expertise comes in, is like knowing what spots to bluff. Speaking of, Jack 9 suited is an open. Play that. But because this is at the very bottom of our range for this spot, we kind of have to be aware. And of course we get raised. So question is, do we call? I think with one other person in the pot, we call and just see what happens. And we do get a pair. We'll just open it to 50 half pot, see what these guys do. I don't feel great about that just because he probably has like something higher, like an ace or a king if he's re-raising. Now we bet previously, so then the question becomes, do we c-bet here? I think because we bet this, well, I'm gonna check it. We don't necessarily, yeah, and he just wants to push me all in. I don't feel confident here. If it had been something below a jack, I think I would have called there. If we had any other equity there, if we had like a higher card, like jack queen, jack king, jack ace, we might have been able to stay in and gamble there. But with top pair only, it did not feel like a great call, especially when I think he's just at small stakes also trying to remember that all-ins are usually like, they're going to have it, or they're going to have something better than top, like something better than middle pair. They're going to have at least top pair. So yeah, I don't feel too bad about that. I mean, looking at this guy's stats, he is very aggressive on the betting. But I think, so he did 3-bet the flop there, and he is only that was the only time he's 3-bet the flop since he sat down at the table. So I think that definitely means like ace king, ace queen, kings, aces, something like that, if he's that tight. So probably a fold that we don't really like, but needed to happen here. Also something where at higher levels, I would be interested to see like what a higher level player would do there, just because at like a higher level, maybe there's a lot more bluffing there. Yeah, I think we're also at a disadvantage because we called pre-flop, then our kind of perception of our range is limited. I mean, so he is potentially able to exploit us there when the king comes. So I think just maybe unlucky cards. If it was another low card, we could have potentially like gone all in instead and won it. But what number of blinds did you sit down with? 100. So I should now normally I should be like topping up and go back to 100 or go back to 50 or something. So I am playing at a disadvantage by having a low stack right now of 25. But this is kind of like, I'm just doing a bankroll challenge. I'm trying to work my way up, and part of my self-imposed rules are 1 buy-in loss per day. So we bought in at 100, and we're not going to lose any more money other than just the 100. So 100 big blinds. Yeah. But these are micro stakes. It's only 5 cents, so 100 big blinds is $5, which isn't too bad. But we're just pretty card dead right now. Not much else to say, and just kind of missing lots of flops, missing lots of hands here. Haven't gotten any flushes or straights, so like we've hit very little so far. So just clawing around. I mean, this table has been kind of crazy, so it's possible that we see like a multi-way all in and get back up to 50 or 75 in one hand. If so, that'd be great. If not, we'll just I'm just gonna stop the stream after I lose my buy-in. We can also just do some hand analysis. So usually with this stream, I'll spend the first kind of hour and a half playing hands, and then I will kind of go into analysis mode. We'll pull up Flopzilla, maybe GTO Plus, and try to figure out what we did right and what we did wrong. So yeah, appreciate you coming. Thanks for watching the stream and chit-chatting. Makes for a much better stream when people are engaged, so I appreciate it. This hand, King 5, was just not quite good enough to stay in. It looks like we would have had low pair here, so I don't feel too bad about staying out. Player 6 is new to the table. He just sat down three hands ago, so we don't know much about him. And player 3 is also brand new. The ace at the end certainly changes things. I think player 6 probably has the better range here, so he could possibly bet it. Yeah, he does. And will player... Okay, so player 3 calls with the 2 pair. Nice. So these are the... I mean, you know, the guy won a bunch of money with 5-6 offsuit, but he wasn't the big blind, so he probably just checked that hand through. He didn't need to bet. And we are generally trying to play a 3-bet or fold strategy. I do have like a small limping range that I will occasionally do, but other than that, we're trying to stick to the good hands and see if we can maybe claw our way back out of our $3.75 loss so far. But if the cards don't cooperate, then I guess we just get to sit back and watch other people bet money and gamble. The table has definitely quieted down since we started. When we started, there was more than one multi-way all in. So definitely seems like players have shuffled through, got a lot quieter. We might be able to even start bluffing now that we probably have a bit tighter of an image at the table since we haven't played a lot lately. But let's see what happens here. So there is an open from the cutoff, and big blind is deciding whether to defend or not. He folds. Go on to the next hand. Hopefully your day is going well. Mine is not too bad, but just kind of tired today. My dog got me up at 5:30 this morning, and then I just kind of went to work. I have my only other teammate on my team is in Ireland, so anytime I can get up early is kind of a win because that means we can chat and catch up. Now, facing a 3-bet cold, pretty sure we're not going to play this. We are in position, but 6-9 or 9-6 suited is just not quite good enough, so we'll let it go. You know, if it had been folded to us, we would have opened that, but we'll let these two guys duke it out. It's under the gun and hijack, and under the gun actually 4-bets it. He opened, so it was open 3-bet, and then went around and he 4-bet. Let's see what happens here. Now normally a 4-bet should be like 23 big blinds. Oh, okay, so that was the right amount. All right. And yeah, so player 3, maybe that was just a bluff there. That was interesting. So Jack 9 in the small blind. We do under the gun opens. So we'll let this go. Just trying to wait and play a good hand once we get it, but we have just not gotten it. But thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate it. We are doing a bankroll challenge, trying to get up to 10K. We are up about, what is that? Almost 10 buy-ins. We're up about like 9 buy-ins right now, a little under 9 buy-ins. So we started about 2 weeks ago, so we're doing pretty good. We're definitely like somewhere around 10 big blinds per 100 hands at least. Now this we can open. Oh, wow. Okay, I must be tired because I just missed this bet. So did not mean to re-raise here. I think I probably need to get offline if I'm misclicking here and not reading the board right. So we'll see. Let's see what happens here. This was an overbet, so it's possible he overbet just to get the limpers out of the way, or it's possible that he just has a strong hand. Let's see what he does. If he re-raises here, I think we fold. If we call, we'll just go to the flop and see what we get. Maybe we hit spades and get lucky. Let's see what he does. He calls. So he is in under the gun. He's certainly trying to bully me. I think with only 16 big blinds left, I think we just go in and call it for today, and see what we get on the turn in river. Yeah, 7-6. So he... Oh, so we win. Okay. 4 or 5. So he had the gut shot straight draw. He was looking for an 8. And we happened to get the king on the river. And so we... Yeah, that was nice. So we get back, climb our way back. We kind of forced our hand there, but I feel decent about it. Of all the hands that I mean, that was literally the best hand I think we've gotten since we sat down at the table an hour ago. So of all the hands to get it in on, that wasn't the worst. And it did actually help. It was interesting that he, now we got to see a little bit more about him. So that was 6-7 suited that he opened and then called a 3-bet with. So, looking at my data, calling a 3-bet, actually, yeah, it looks like a lot of people have called 3-bets with 7-6 suited. So, interesting. I would not have expected somebody to call with a 7-6 suited, but actually it looks like it's pretty common according to the hands that I've recorded so far. Alright, we're gonna fold the king 2. Yeah, so we've seen, I collected something like 5,000 hands in Zoom and then kind of combined it with the hands I've played so far in regular. And yeah, we've seen low jack, high jack, cutoff, and big blind all call a 3 or 4 bet with 7-6 suited. So, and the reason for that, I mean, there's a good reason. Typically, like suited connectors are good hands to be calling with, just because it kind of hits the opposite side of the board. It is kind of the opposite side of the range, and so when you have somebody with a really like polarized range who's like focused mainly on like aces, kings, queens, to have something low like 7-6 4, 5, 8, 9 is a good can be like a good asset when the flop comes all low numbers, which is exactly what happened. And so I think he bet correctly, kind of pretty standard move there. Yeah. Fortunately, we're just not getting a lot of good cards here, so I'm just waiting for a hand we can play. Jack Ace in the small blind, should we... the cutoff opens. In the big blind, we're gonna call Ace Jack. Oh, now my board says a 3-bet this, so let's do it. See what he does here. Oh, and he folds it to us. Okay. Nice. We'll take it. Now, Ace 4 offsuit. Well, we could have opened it, but when the cutoff is actually betting a real amount, we're just gonna let it go. Alright guys, we can do it. We can claw our way back to 100 and end the day neutral. That is our goal. Although, actually, let's see what... we started streaming around 3:30. It's about 4:25 right now. So, we will play for another 20 minutes or so. I'll try to... An hour and a half is my absolute max. I should probably, when I'm this tired, I should probably be stopping a bit earlier. Maybe we'll shoot for like an hour. Let's shoot for 4:45. I'll stop it in 20 minutes. So let me put my countdown timer on now, and then basically after that, when the countdown timer hits, we'll switch into explanation mode and talk about the best and worst hands. All right. Let's see if we could have done anything better or worse. All right, now this is interesting. We do get yeah. 6-4 up. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool emoji. I should get the little emoji overlay. Apparently Streamlabs, I can do that pretty easily. I was also thinking it would be cool to have like a really rapid fire like poll so that I could say like, okay, do I bet or fold here? That would be potentially fun. All right. I think we're also just getting a fair amount of folds when it comes to us. See if this guy wants revenge. We took his all. He put us all in, and now he wants revenge. He's definitely just bullying us. There's no doubt about that. The question is, do we 4-bet or call here? So, I mean, let's just stick to, let's look at our ranges. We would be in position, so Queen 9 suited is a fold. He has been pre-flop raising 32% of hands. He has 3-bet pre-flop 1 out of 7 times. So... Alright, now this we gotta play, let's go 4 big blinds, since we have 1 limper behind us. Let's see what happens. Now if he, if the small blind raises us here, we are in position, so we would call. But looks like we don't have to worry about that. And we do flop the set, so we are gonna bet. The other nice thing is, like, we're kind of This is a good like disguised hand here. You know, I would normally probably bet this because c-bet it here. Just because it hits my range better than either of these guys, either of these positions. Small blind or and so we do get a call. And so it is a 2. I'm gonna check through and maybe just give him a little bit of false sense of security, and we'll see what he does. So we're gonna push him all in and see what he does. We oh, so he had the straight. Interesting. Set versus a straight. That's not the worst hand to go off of. I probably should have spotted the straight. I was maybe just moving a little too fast there at the end. I figured I had it cinched with the set. But I guess we can just switch to explanation mode now. And maybe we can just start by reviewing that hand and see if that was a good hand to go all in on or what. So let me kill this. And we will switch over to explanation mode and take a look. So this is the this is the last hand that we just bombed out on. Let's see if we did the right thing or not. I'm kind of curious. So we are a hero with the 10s. We don't know that he has the 9-7, so we'll pretend we don't know. We 3-bet, he calls. We get a second call here. So the board comes Jack 6-10. So let me just punch everything in here. And Jack 6-10. We also know that this guy's pretty sane, so we're gonna like give him a reasonable calling range here. Alright, so this is his calling range in this spot. We have 10s, the board comes Jack 10-6. So we have 90% equity. So we definitely so our bet, we bet it in position and we get a call. And so the river comes at 2. We have 95% equity here. And so, you know, he checks, and then I decide to check. And maybe that is where we went wrong. We should have, I guess, just bet here. Probably another 2/3 pot bet. Just because the board is connected and suited. So 2 hearts have a draw, and then like king queen or 8-9 has a draw, a straight draw. So there are a lot of gut shot straight draws on the board. There are a lot of flush draws on the board. So potentially like an overbet here may have been the best move in order to basically protect my equity, to try and get folds from a weaker hand that is drawing out. So I think that is the biggest mistake here, was my check. And so the board comes, or the 8 comes, and I think I just completely missed the fact that it connects straights and it connects flushes. So if we punch in the 8 here, our equity still shows 87%. But if we if he basically bets to put me almost all in, he does a full pot bet. So if we say that he has something like, so if we are filtering out for, you know, I almost think 2 pair and above, and then some percentage of nothing, like let's say he's bluffing a quarter of the time here, and then if not, he has 2 pair or above. That seems reasonable to me. Does that actually apply correctly? It should. So if we filter that out, we're down to 65% equity here. And so these are basically the hands that it puts them on. And yeah, sure enough, there's 4 combos of 9-7 because those are probably the straight draws that he had there that would have made it. So I think it was just honestly me missing the straight there. So he was happy to get me in. So I would call this a bad hand on my part. Yeah, I think not. Now, I guess the question is, like, not knowing his hand, when he bets opens here for full pot, the question is, do you fold here? Was 65% equity and we're getting 33% pot odds. The math says that you still call. I think that maybe if we fold out, if we don't include 2 pair, and we're still getting 61% equity. And that's because we're still doing even better than all the other straights on the board. Like we have we have top set. So, you know, if we filter that out, we're still down to about 55%, which is still more than the pot odds that he's giving us. So I think maybe we could have called there rather than re-raising. But I think I was just kind of tired and assumed that the set was best. And that was kind of silly of me. I think I just was tired. So we lose that. And we lose our buy-in for today, so we're back down to about 8 buy-ins above what we started with, which is still not bad for about 2 weeks of streaming, 2 or 3 weeks. So we'll try to do better next time. Try to maybe figure out a way to wake up before we start streaming. Yeah, I mean, we also just didn't get a lot of great cards, so. We can take a look at one more hand before we stop streaming. We'll try to go to like another 10 minutes or so. See if there's any other better improvements we can find here. All right, so in this hand, we get a 1, 2, 3, and then okay, this was the really weird one. Yeah, so. This one was also a silly one to get in, I feel like. I feel like these guys are just all gambling here. So, right here we are getting 12% pot odds, which is pretty darn good. But, you know, let's punch into Flopzilla like all the different potential spots here we have here. So I think that we have... so we're going to switch it to multiplayer mode. And we're going to look back at the beginning and count how many hands there were here. So we have a limp, a open 2-bet. So let's just start putting all these in. So our limper is probably something like our Gonzo 65% range here. And then our open for 8 big blinds is got to have something relatively strong, so I think, but we'll just put it like at the absolute. We'll say he's gambling. He's gambling with any ace, any king, queen, so something like this. Oops. Okay, so this is our. We're gonna do this in order, so it's easier to keep track of. So this is our limper. This is our. This is our 2-better. We have a somebody who calls the 2-bet. I'm gonna just put him also on our Gonzo range, and then we have us. I'm just gonna punch our specific hand in here so that it's a little easier to keep track of. We have ace 7 suited. Is it gonna work? There we go. Okay. And then our range 1 re-raises. And then we get 3 calls. So, range 1 re-raising here.
To certain people, the call to adventure.
I think we can do something reasonable like
As
this.
everyday life has become safer and more comfortable for some.
And then the callers, we're gonna like take out some of the very top of their range here.
Knowing that at any minute you could die.
And then we'll leave us with a7. So all that in here, you can see kind of the equities right off the bat. We're all actually pretty even, and I have 24% equity there. Now if we look at the flop and it's 662. So probably a pretty miserable flop. If we punch it in, 6 of hearts, what was that? 6 of clubs, 2 of hearts. So the value of our hand went way down, and the value of all their hands went up. Part of that is just because we know what our hand is, but we don't know what everybody else's hand is. But the fact that the board was so low and we had an ace and we had a 7, we had an ace and a bad kicker, and it was 6 high board paired, probably just spells a lot of trouble for us. And so then the question is, well, I think, so then the question, so should I have called here? With 12% pot odds, I think we had more than 12% equity in the pot, so it's an okay call. But here we check, bet, half pot bet. And so we are getting 25% pot odds. Now, player 3 folded. So now, come on, computer. What's our range? There we go. So our equity is 25% versus a 25% pot odds, but each of these guys have more equity than us, so we're still not in great shape. So possibly a call, but honestly, I think this is a fold at this point. And so that's what we do. Now that guy calls, and it was a jack. Check, 8, bet. And what did they have? Ace queen versus 9-8. So we definitely would have lost, but the pair of 8s does take it. He had the flush draw. And potentially the straight draw. Gut shot straight draw with the 10. No, 10 would not have made it, but a 7, if it had been like 7-10, could have gotten 7. All right. So yeah, I think that was a good fold, although a debatable call here. I think maybe a better question is, should we have called right here when it is 30% pot odds to us, and we have 2 people to go and 2 people calling with 8 big blinds. So I think this is actually maybe where we went wrong. Only having having 30% pot odds here is not great for our ace 7 suited. So yeah. So good stuff to study. I think studying any multi-way pot is hard. It's hard to study for it. It's hard to kind of analyze where you're at. Like a tool like Flopzilla helps, just because you can kind of get a better sense of what's going on. And so in this case, I think Flopzilla helped tell us that we probably just shouldn't, like how much equity we actually had. I think we had like 20 or 25% equity. So facing pot odds of 30% means we probably should have folded. and I probably wouldn't have realized that at the time. I don't think I realized how bad my equity was in this situation. So, yeah. So thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it. I will sign off for today, try to get some sleep, and we'll come back another day. Usually I stream Wednesday through Friday, but my personal schedule's still kind of up in the air. So we'll say we shoot for 3 days a week, and on the weekdays around 3 p.m. And so hopefully y'all can make it.